Hope you all had a wonderful holiday. Now that we've had a few days to stew on it, let's talk about that Big Ten title game and the upcoming game they have against Clemson. There's some good things. There were some very concerning things. Among the good, Trey Sermon was an absolute monster. They absolutely needed a performance like that from someone. And Trey Sermon looked like Trey Sermon of Oklahoma, which was the reason Buckeye fans were so excited when he transferred here. But he hadn't looked like that for most of the year. And all of a sudden, Master Teague, I don't know what happened with him. He had a couple of nice runs, but it was Trey Sermon's show. He absolutely dominated. This was reminiscent of 2015 when JT Barrett got hurt. Cardale Jones was starting, and Zeke Elliott absolutely took off. He was their game. It was that type of performance. Now, this is still the kind of game where teams like Texas A&M are watching saying, really? That's the game that got them into the playoffs over us? I think most people knew from the get-go that if Ohio State won, they were going to be in the playoffs. Like, they probably would have had to have won like 6-3 for them to not make the playoffs. It was not a pretty game. They got down early, 10-0. They were down at the half. Like, there was some legit concern for this team as to whether or not they were actually going to pull it off. Because Northwestern was playing well. Ohio State was not mustering much offense at all. But you got to give them credit. At halftime, they made the right adjustments. They realized Trey Sermon had the hot hand. And again, I don't know if Master Teague was hurt. There's been some varying reports as to may have had some minor injury somewhere. But Trey Sermon dominated. Justin Fields did not look like the Justin Fields we've come to know. Now, granted, having Chris Olave out obviously hurts that a ton. But Justin Fields should still be better than that. There's still a couple times, it seems to happen in most games, there's 1 or 2 times where he holds the ball on too long. And we know that's one of his big weaknesses because he's trying to make the play. Whether it's find an opening that he can run for the first and get some yards, or wait for a receiver to get open. But there were a couple of them that were just absolutely head-scratching. And when you look ahead to Clemson, it's the kind of thing that he absolutely cannot afford. I'm not saying he has to be absolutely perfect, but the offense needs to click a lot sooner. The defense needs to clamp down sooner. They look great in the second half. But that first half, if they play like that against Clemson, instead of down 10-0, they're going to be down 21-24-0. And that's potentially an insurmountable hole. Now, if I'm going to be completely honest, do I think they're going to win? No. I think they have the talent to keep up with them. But Clemson has just been, as long as they've had Trevor Lawrence, they've been dominating. I think Ohio State's going to make this closer than most people think. But keeping up with Clemson and stopping Clemson is an insane task. They're absolutely going to need their best game of the year from everyone. Offensive line's got to be on point. Justin Fields has to be on point. He can't be waiting, trying to make the big play. If he doesn't see it, he's got to throw it away. Or he's got to run, get whatever yards he can. Justin Fields needs to look like the Justin Fields from earlier in the season when we were starting to say he could be the Heisman winner. It's going to be a tough game. Ohio State's got all the talent in the world. But every game, it seems there's some kind of inconsistency that just makes you nervous. Be it the offensive line, Fields himself, the secondary. Because they've had good performances, but putting them together each and every game. And I think this is where the Big Ten only having 6 games, or for Ohio State only 6 games, is coming to haunt them. Because they've only played twice in the last 30 days or so. So they don't have the actual game reps to stay fresh, to keep ready. And that's the kind of thing they really need heading into this playoff game. Ryan Day is as good of a coach as there is in college football. I think he's going to have the team ready. But it's a tough task. Clemson's a great team. Great quarterback. Justin Fields has to look like the guy who everyone was saying he's going to be a Heisman winner or he's going to be the number 2 overall pick. He's got to look like that guy. Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson have to look like one of the best receiving duos in the country. And the defense needs to look like the Silver Bullets. They've got to play well on all levels. Had some questions in the secondary. Shaun Wade hasn't looked great since moving to the outside. They got to stay ready. It's going to be a tough game. When you consider their toughest games of the year were against Indiana and Northwestern, now they got to go face Clemson. It's going to be a big one. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. So we'll see what happens. Have a great holiday season, and I will talk to you next time.